Hi, Sonal,
Hi, Namrata.
and I'm happy to have you on my show today.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited and excited for the topic that you selected: parenthood, identity crisis, pregnancy wellness. Considering these are your niche as a coach, it to
Good, good.
start with, Sonal, if you can let me know what made you think that this is your niche identity.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for this lovely question. Actually, it takes me back to the years and the phase of my life where I was feeling like I'm just perfect, playing all the roles of a daughter, of a wife, of a mother. But somehow I felt that since my education has been in biotechnology and I was a gold medalist and I worked for a US university as a visiting researcher also. And somehow I realized that I really want to do something more than this. Right. And I love sciences. I love researching. I'm a very good observer and everything very much grounded and connected to people. But I really wanted to create something, some touching, something which gives me that kick, or I can see the direct results. So in science and research, we get results, but we get very slow results. It takes a lot of time, patience, and everything. And I felt I'm meant for something bigger. I got married, and then during my pregnancy, I started feeling I was working for a pharmaceutical company then also, and I started feeling that some void is there, which is still in my heart. After having this perfect life, married life, loving husband, loving family, in laws, everything. But it's during my pregnancy, and then after post pregnancy, we go through a lot which during my own pregnancy, I researched and I knew that somehow my moods, my happiness, my everything will be taken. Like that's what we call it, Garbha Sanskar, the lifestyle of a pregnant couple during pregnancy to have a happy, healthy, positive pregnancy. So that time I was not much aware of it, but yes, there was few content was there online and offline, which I could research on Garbha Sanskar, and then later on I started feeling like, oh my God, I'm seeing these results in my child. And I started teaching to my loved ones and my relatives and my friends and family. And then that's how I took it professionally. Also, first I started my journey with Garbha Sanskar, and then I felt ki the link is still missing. The link is still missing. I still don't know much about emotions. When I used to talk to women and ladies, I could cater my emotions, I could handle my problems at that point of time. But gradually, when I started working in this, I felt there's so much more to it. I still need to understand, I still need to learn, and I still wanting to help those lovely ladies going through such a beautiful phase, but they are having their own emotional traumas and things to care about, which was not technically, as in Garbha Sanskar was working on the superficial level, the ones who are actually already focused and already doing. But I felt there is much more underneath. So that's how I married. I started looking for my answers. And this all began, I remember, from one call. Um, I conducted my online workshop for Garbha Sanskar. And then after the workshop, somebody reached out to me telling her own problem. And I literally listened to her for almost an hour and I could feel helpless. I felt, what? Why is she calling me? That means there has to be a purpose, right? Why am I not able to help her? I'm not certified psychologist, I'm not certified, like, I don't know, I'm not the right person, but I still want to help. And I feel somewhere down the lane, that was the trigger subconsciously I had in my mind, that something is still missing, and I still need to go out and help out these blessed souls. They really need it, because in this phase of their mindset, they won't be able to bring in the best of their self into their pregnancy journey, into their coming up parenting journey. So that was my inner call, and now I feel yes, this is what my passion is. This is what I'm is my purpose. I live by it.
During
As
your interaction with your clients, have you come across a scenario where young couples, they have very rosy picture about having a child, having a happy family, and then after the child is born, reality is stuck and everything is different?
yes, it is. See, in our present age, right, we are going through a shift, right? We have seen, like our generation, if you know, Namrata, we have seen everything, right? From those I mean, especially the 90s born, 89 or 1880s born children's, we have seen best of three worlds, I would say. Now we have become mothers also. So the era in which our parents lived, our grandparents lived, and starting everything from the scratch without refrigerator, without those days, like in the very early childhood days I'm talking about. And then shifting gradually to the technology advancement, the phones, and we have seen the drastic change. And now, like AI and everything. So best of three worlds, I would say. So yes, that is why this generation now, which is going through and becoming new parent, is not very much aware of things, and the chaos is will happen, and because of the shifting happening in our complete, so there are no systematic or I would say protocols or do's and don'ts, and nobody's aware of also because of the generation gap, you may call, or people living in different cities. People have been brought up with the freedom of thinking, freedom of doing and expressing, so they really don't know what is there, what is the exact know how and how to play the role of a parent, because they feel like our expression, our freedom, our everything is also very important. So it is genuinely important, but how to balance everything, we are still in the developing phase. And that's how when people reach out to me, I tell them I'll be there with you throughout. So I'm still carrying, and this is how my journey as a now as a parenting expert is also continuing, because somehow I started with Garbha Sanskar with my own journey. Now I feel like the people who are still resonating to me, or who are still connected to me, they need to be carried forward. So somehow I earlier I used to like give them, but they are still connected to me, and I feel I really need to help them. And that's how I feel that yes, everyone will be taken care of, and they will find their answers and light if they seek.
Yes. So what type of challenges are faced by young parents or first timer parents, which they've never thought about it?
There will be enormous challenges. See, first of all, adjusting to parenthood actually involves adapting to the life changes, right? So this would be your lifestyle changes, your routines, your priorities, your responsibilities. Everything will be in that changing mode. Okay. So we need to understand first what is causing these changes, right? So the what is causing these changes, what are the changes, are the difficulties which people are facing, right? So difficulties like lifestyle changes, the role transformation which they are going to have, shifting from a independent किसी का कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, and they are just on their own looking after each other, and but now they have to shift their role to a caregiver or to a parent, as a parent. So they need to that shifting causes, and those are difficulties, right? Of course, we all know beginning parenting journey comes with lack of sleep, right? Then of course the shift in your career, you'll be deciding, shall I work, shall I not work, shall I continue to, till what age? So there will be many such challenges. Then social and peer pressures, we all know, right? अच्छा उसके बच्चे ने ऐसे कर लिया, मेरा बच्चा अभी तक चलना भी नहीं शुरू किया. And like all those small things which will cause oh, my child is not eating vegetables, or my child is not doing this. So we keep comparing, or our children, our own pregnancy, like अच्छा उसको तो pregnancy में ऐसा हुआ था, मुझे नहीं ऐसा हो रहा है. So all those difficulties, small comparison in the societal context, it will keep continuing. And of course, finding the right balance between your own needs and the needs to fulfill, cater for the family.
In to manage all this, what is the ideal thing? Like how to establish a routine that will help you to balance your personal well-being at the same time to act as a best caregiver to your kids?
First of all, is knowing your own self, most important. The more you are in aligned with yourself, the more you are able to understand your own needs first, because it's very well said, right? If our cup is not full, how can we fill everybody else's cup in our family? So first understand who you are, what are your needs, where are you coming from, what are your value system, and act accordingly, right? So typically, if your question is around lifestyle, habits, routines, so everything, all this will come from a place of taking your own responsibility, taking that 100% responsibility that yes, it's my child, my family, and I'll be doing best. So first of all, seeing where you are, and then seeing where you want to go, right? And then accordingly take some little bit of calibration, we call it, right? Since I come from a science background, so little bit of calibration here and there. If 6 o'clock is not working for you, start getting up at 5:30. Maybe you'll get extra half an hour for your own self, so that you have a peace of mind to carry forward all your responsibilities rest of the day. If you are a new mom, you need to like sleep when the baby sleeps. So all those small tips and tricks are there, which you need to follow. Your diet, mental stresses, like लोगों का काम है कहना, लोग कुछ कहेंगे. So you need to keep ignoring the some part of your life and prioritizing your present life. Your baby needs the most, whether be in your womb or in your arms, it will be so. And seek support whenever possible, delegate your task and everything. So, and have realistic expectations. So all those small things, which small actions which actually look very small, but they lead a big impact in your life to have a stress-free life.
Correct, correct. And with all these additional responsibilities, how does your like a woman's relationship with her spouse changes? Because there's so much in her plate, right? Baby, housework, and her emotional balance. In that scenario, how does she balance her relationship with her husband?
See, this topic is one of my favorite because something which you have struggled once becomes your, if you learn how to manage it, and if you learn how to overcome it, it becomes your most strength part. So I typically take 2 to 3 hours of workshop for the same topic of how to strengthening the relationships of to be parents and the new parents. And that's why I call it this shifting phase and bridging the gap phase. So yes, the first and foremost important thing comes is the communication. Okay, so communication is the most strongest pillar of all. And if you are able to, if you want to actually strengthen this relationship with your spouse, be it the wife, be it the husband, you need to first understand what you are going through, of course, accepting it, have more and more information and knowledge about what the changes you are going through. And the more time you spend together, understanding it, analyzing it, and creating a better plan for your future, better for you. So that is why in all spheres of your, in all spheres of your, difficulties lies one of the most strongest and important and significant answer is communication. Do not stop your communication. times will be there where you will feel like I don't have much to talk, right? It's like my day starts with taking care of the baby, and then it ends with the, because my sleep is also not this, it's incomplete, and we feel like sleeping, whenever we get time, and in the process the spouse feels neglected, right? So everybody respecting and honoring everybody's needs, it's vice versa, right? Understanding, so the other spouse needs to be more understanding that yes, she's going through a phase, or the lady spouse, the wife needs to be understanding that since we are, so you need to find that perfect harmony and balance in between both of you, because there is no such right and wrong in any relationship. Okay, for some it is very normal and casual that okay, the husband is going out and taking care of his own needs, and for some it's like no, you need to come and home and talk to me for at least half an hour and discuss about the whole day, and because of which the bond, strong bonding. So you need to figure out what works best for you, both of you as a couple, and work together. It's a team game, and do not lose your intimacy in the process. Most important, this intimacy of not only sexual but asexual, non-sexual language also plays a very significant role, I say. So things you need to understand, what are their requirements, how it can be fulfilled, maybe planning some date nights. If you are pregnant, just spend most of your time so that you can balance it with the during the postpartum phase, which will be a strongest pillar, I say. And then after delivery also, first 3 months you won't be able to, but as soon as you feel like, maybe when the child is sleeping, you go to another room and talk it out, and share your needs, desires, your expectations. So that plays a very important role. And once the child is in the toddler's age, if you can leave your child to the this thing, so find your own ways. It's not that just going out of the house, creating some, having some creative ideas inside the house, mixing your baby responsibilities with your own family pleasure, and understand each other's love language. So have that strong bonding with each other, which will actually enhance your relationship, and which will actually, see, we all are social beings, right? So we need love, we need more of interactions, we need more of understanding, validation. However, we don't feel the need of validation if you are to another level, but we still feel that getting appreciation, if somebody's love language is appreciation and words of like wow, great, thank you. So all these things, we women have different wiring than men. So we need to understand each other and operate from the best place suiting you, and of course seek help if you are going through a tunnel and a phase which you feel you are not able to handle by yourself. Seek out to the experts like us.
So now in India, we have benefit of staying in joint family where grandparents would come and support. We also have privilege of getting maids who would look after other chores. Especially this is helpful for young couple. But if couple is staying abroad where all such luxuries are not available, in that case, as a spouse, how do they divide responsibility? So both of them are not getting overwhelmed and they are able to support each other with this add-on responsibility.
That's what, again, oh, there is a saying now, the more you sweat in your training stage, the more the chances of winning the war is higher. I don't know the exact time, that it's something same. So if you have seen the couples in their pregnancy, especially during in outs like in the outside the Western countries or in foreign countries, they spend much more time communicating, planning, setting up their parenting goals, deciding their co-parenting strategies, equipping themselves with more and more knowledge and education. That's why we have seen that they will not take this next step of parenting until unless they are fully prepared, right? So that's the basic I have felt, according to me, the difference. So that's where this thing lies. It starts from, everything starts from very basic. So in fact, some of them, they could even, decide if they want to marry or not based on their partner's choice of having children or number of children also, right? Before, during dating also, they do decide. We have seen couples who feel like, I am not very much comfortable with children, so they will see, okay, fine, I really want to have children. If you're not sync uh, in this choice of mine, it's better we move apart. So we have seen many such different preparations during the early stage of, even before getting married or after getting married. And the better you planned are, the better you prepared are, and you will be able to do it. Now comes to the point that the families are not there, then there could be friends which are more than a family, the neighborhood you are living in. And of course, when others are doing it so well, you can also. So there is no right and wrong in it. Yes, it takes a different the frequency changes. Like in India, we have a frequency of more of, we take it for, in fact, we take it for granted having our in-laws or our mothers and mother-in-law or the elders of the house, maybe co-sister or anyone. But that's uh, the luxury we get in India, I call it, right? Which we don't get it outside. But something you'll definitely find it to replace it with. And of course, maternity leaves, paternity leaves are there, work from home options are there, and there are so many. But I would, according to me, there is no right and wrong. So it's not, we have, like, we feel that there are more homemakers or housewives in India. There are many in outside also. They choose. So when you operate from a place of choosing to work from home, or choosing to halt, pause your own career or your professional life for a while, in order to give your 100% to the best, give your 100% to the best of your kids' upbringing. So you will in fact feel more empowered in that condition, instead of feeling that something is lacking, something is missing. So whenever we operate from a place of scarcity, that this is not there, or because the the moment you will operate from the scarcity is like you will lower down your own energy and frequency, that I am not capable of because something is missing. But the truth is, these are the cards you are dealt with, right? And if the problem is there, solution will also be there. So dishwashers are there, right? We don't use dishwashers. The robotic cleanup, mopping, everything is there these days. The robots that circle, that it will go and even do in the corners, like even our mates don't do it. So everything has a pros and cons. You get your own quality time and nobody's there to bother you, or the pressure of the society. So everything has their own pros and cons. But definitely
Correct.
everything can be managed. You just need to look out for the right ways to do it. And most important thing is, do it from the heart, from the choice, right? If you are operating from the blissful side of it, nothing will be more, it won't feel like a burden or the missing thing.
So then, while as a parent, while you're bringing up your child, infant to toddler, so during this phase, how do you adopt to the parenting strategy? Like from what you've seen, how your parents has brought you up, or you've seen your co-sister's son or daughter, how they have brought up, how all of this influenced your parenting style?
Yes, that's why I say society, peer pressure, influences, all this also count as one of the factors. And somehow we humans are what? Like, we were just as you, when you see a kid, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old kid, what do you see? They don't know anything, right? But this 2-year, 3-year-old kids, when they grow up to a 30-year-old adult, what do you see? Now they are full of various opinions, critics, experiences, likes, dislikes, do's, don'ts. From where all this came from? From our experiences, right? Whatever we have been observing, we have been experiencing, we have been taking it from there, right? So if we sometimes feel that we are not, like, when we go to a school or college, that time also not, we are not having the learning which is actually happening in the classroom, the technical knowledge, the formal schooling, or the formal education. But also we are learning from so many things, how a particular teacher behaves in a manner when somebody asks a question, and how another teacher behaves. You're not supposed to answer. I have not started Q&A yet. Or another teacher who operates from a love. So you are still learning. Oh my God, this is a good place to operate from, right? Because as a student, as a child, I felt more loved, right? And if there was, I couldn't see the difference, then the only experience I went through, that bitterness and the scolding and the truth, then I will carry forward this throughout my life. So same is with parenting. When we see how our parents have parented us, or when we see others, we are in observer mode. Then we can choose whether to adapt or not to adapt. But in case of our own parenting, as we were going through a very tender age, after like 16, 17 years of age, we are much more aware, so we can find out, oh my God, why are our parents not understanding? I wish they could understand. I wish they could behave and answer in a better manner, right? No, I'm not like that. Or we have our own self talks going on, and in that phase we know, like, we can differentiate. Some of us, not everyone, but we can differentiate that, okay, at least when I become a parent, I'll give more liberty, more freedom to my child, the choices he or she can make. So all those small experiences in our life actually play a role, and it, from that early age, somehow our parenting journey actually begins. That नहीं नहीं, हमारा बच्चा होगा तो हम ऐसे नहीं करेंगे, या फिर why are they scolding this little kid, बच्चा ही है, कोई बात नहीं, चीजें तो वापस आ जाएंगी, right? Things like that comes, we do our self talking, mind chattering. It will definitely, and the experiences which we have gone through, which we didn't, it was not in our control, but we have experienced it, goes under childhood traumas category. And we need to go through childhood healing, childhood, that was called inner child healing, and all those concepts which we have, because of our awareness and knowledge, now we know that they do exist, right? Because over the years we don't know why are we behaving in a certain manner, even if we don't want to. Then we go deeper in our own self and we try to find out the right reasoning for it, and in the process we heal ourselves also, and we find better ways to deal with it. That affects our own parenting. So my whole central idea always, in all my answers, in all my workshops, is always centered to your own self. Align yourself to a place where everything becomes so smooth and effortless, and you operate from a place that nothing feels like a burden or have to. Or I hear many of the parents and mothers, fathers, like, ये ऐसा कर रहा है, वो ऐसा कर रहा है, always putting things out, but rather they forget how they have been doing in the process, what kind of role model they have been. बच्चा है, बच्चा तो देखकर ही सीखेगा, हमने भी देखकर ही सीखा ना. But somewhere down the lane, now is the time to actually understand it, realize it, and shift it. We don't want to take any generational patterns ahead. If you can take up the responsibility, I feel उससे ज्यादा सुकून कुछ नहीं मिलता.
Yeah. And so the arrival of new baby is lot of fun, excitement, love, and celebration. You're getting wishes, people are calling you. But
Right.
at the same time, there's deep down, there's this fear. How will you manage add-on response? There's frustration, there's so much to do. So in such situation, how to navigate all this emotion as a woman? So you are able to pass on positive emotion to your child.
Yes. See, in that anxious stage, do you want my answer restricted? Because now I'm taking too much. So do you want my answer to restrict it to the pregnancy stage or the as a new
Up to
parent?
you, Sonal. You decide. I'm okay.
Okay. So basically, when we need to, when we are going through this shift, right, there is so much worry, anxiety, and hormonal changes playing their part. And again, lot of inputs coming from here and there, doctor saying something, mother-in-law saying something, your mother saying something, your friends having different experiences, and somebody had some difficult experience and you take a toll of it, and there could be anything. So if you are following your healthy diet, not only physical but mental, both, you will be in a better position to take care of these difficulties in a better manner, right? Again, everything starts from the planning stage. So how you have spent your time, during your pregnancy will be reflecting your early days of parenting, and in fact later on also. So that's why I say that Garbha Sanskar is like 90 years of work done in these 9 months, right? You cannot rectify the seed, right? So we cannot rectify the tree. So rather, why not work from the seeding itself? So yes, and the tips which I would like to give you to all the new parents or who are going through this, who have stepped onto this roller coaster ride of parenting, just do not stop working on yourself. Just keep on learning and evolving, and uh, you know work on your habits, work on your routines, work on your rituals, work on your diet. What are you watching? What are you seeing? How you are talking? How you are behaving? Right? We all have so much expectations, right? Okay, our family should be perfect. We should have such intelligent, creative child, and the list is ending, right? But how much efforts we as a parents are actually putting in? The moment you start operating from this kind of thinking mindset, the depression, the anxiety, the stress, why are all this coming from? They are coming from because again you are feeling कि है ना कुछ तो missing है, कुछ scarcity है. So the moment you identify it, switch it to the solution mode, right? Read books, have healthy diet, do yoga, do your meditation, do follow some good expert, reach out for help, and try to reduce your own workload as whatever is possible in your case, so that you can spend more time with your family, with your loved ones, beginning with your own self, right? So this is a continuous process, and everybody knows these days कि अच्छा खाएंगे, अच्छा देखेंगे, सुनेंगे, everything it will be affecting yourself and your baby, whether be in the womb or in your arms, I say, right? So don't feel कि ना अभी तो बच्चा बाहर आ गया है So we don't need to actually work on take care of our own diet and our own everything. So this is a big problem actually. Many of us go, since we were not aware of it, and many of us are still not aware of it, we take it for granted. कि नहीं, नहीं, like everything is centered around kid. So I feel this is a slight mistake. Yes, everything is centered around kid, but how will you take care of the kid when you are not able to, when you yourself are are in a place that you need help, right? So first empower yourself. Ki you should not be, you should stand strong, that yes, if the child is shouting or screaming or is going through is throwing the tantrums, then you should actually be in your peace that time. It's not easy, as I say it takes lot of work over the years, but definitely you can reach to a place where instead of becoming the experiencer of that whole situation, be it any situation during your stress phase of your pregnancy or your anxiety postpartum depression phase of your postpartum, or later on your early parenting, feeding your child is not eating, or the gastric problems, the child is not able to express, the babies doesn't know how to express. The only way they know how to express is cry, and we need to master this language of crying. Yeah, abhi kis type ki cry hai? Is it because of the food, or is it because of the gas problem, or something else in his or her environment? So we need to master this, right? As a toddler, we'll have to master it. Ki, okay, the tantrum is coming from the space of the hungerness, or any toy, or somebody said something, or any kind of hurt. So we need to understand different this thing, and you'll be able to understand all this when you yourself are able to understand your own hurts, pains, and you have healed, and so that yes, now I'm all clear, right? Everything is so transparent and clear that I can see, understand emotions better, so I can understand my child's needs, desires, emotions better. Not only your child's, but the whole family in context, right? So that's why it's said, right? A happy woman, a happy family. A child will only come from a happy woman, a happy wife, a happy daughter, and which in all we have a happy home.
Beautifully said, Sonal.
Thank you.
During so initial phase, you are entirely focused on baby and you're not thinking about anything else. But as baby starts growing 6 months, 7 months, you are again thinking about your career aspirations and you want to go back to work. So how do you suggest navigating this phase?
See, one thing that in this whole world, in fact, what matters the most to you? For example, if I ask you, Namrita, what matters the most to you?
In my family.
Yes, right? So for you, if it's your family, you will do everything possible to have that value system of yours intact, right? But for some, it is like we can't judge anyone, right? As in our hand, we have 5 fingers of different sizes. So in our planet, in our world, we have different people having different experiences, different mindsets, different perceptions, different way of handling it, right? And the journey which they have to go through is entirely made from the choices they make, right? So the choices of one of the choices, important choice, working or not working, right after pregnancy, right after completing the 6 months of maternity. And like in second pregnancy, we don't get that 6 months also. It's hardly, I think, 3, 4 months. So it's entirely up to you. There is no right and wrong. But in my opinion, if you ask me, we all are mothers, right? And we are much, much, much higher than any other family member at this position at that point of time when you have been given a responsibility, or you are the chosen one for this beautiful soul to actually become the medium, or the mother or the caretaker, whatever you want to call. But it's through you this blessed soul has chosen to come to this world, right? Among those, how many, 7 billion people in this planet, right? Out of 7 billion, at least the fertile ones could be 1 billion, 2 billions, right? Right. At that moment when that soul has chosen you. So don't you think that we should actually prioritize, or come to a stage that, yes, at least few years of my life till the child becomes self-dependent, is able to communicate, I give my 100% attention. If you are able to give your 100% in your parenting journey while balancing your uh, other work and career, and because that is your value system again, right? So there is no right and wrong. Please go ahead. In fact, you will be much more conscious. I've seen mothers like who are working and taking care of the child are raising, doing extremely well, because they are operating. If if we are at this level, they could be operating from a much more higher level, because they have this thing in their head that I have to balance both because they both are equally important to me. See, it's entirely individual's choices. But yes, in the beginning, understanding the needs and desires could be little difficult, because you need, if you are not available to the child, as a caregiver, or as a nurturer, just feeding the child won't be enough, right? Understanding the emotions, the connection, the bonding, especially when the child is not able to speak yet, right? So there are many incidences in which, because the mother and father, they both were working. So not to judge anyone, but yes, the research has shown, the experiences in our society has shown that because of the lack of the bonding and the emotional connection, the child has felt neglected. And this neglectedness actually, somewhere subconsciously in that little babies, has been carried forward to the adulthood. And the lack of love, the lack of emotional connection is still there in the child when the child is now 30, 40 years. And that's what we these days we call it a narcissist, or someone who is not able to cope up with the normal existence. Or we have named different, a special able child, or autism, or some are of course hereditary, but the other psychological different little abnormal behaviors are somewhere, I feel the root cause must have been, if we go down the history of their own self. So choice is yours. If you are able to do it, good enough. If you're not, but yes, please consider that and operate from the place of choosing it, right? Rather than actually, oh, I have to look after my babies, that's why I cannot go back to my work. If you still are in that situation, then you will not be able to do justice neither to your career aspirations nor to your baby's growth and development. So work on yourself and fit in the right choices at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, yeah. And so then with a new baby, a new member in family, financial responsibilities also change. Like because expenses would just skyrocket, right? From day one. in that scenario, how to budget, how to plan, or have some financial security as a couple. So even if there is a delay in going back to work, they are still able to enjoy that happy moment.
Yes, see, I'm not a financial advisor, but as a parent, I would definitely say that again, you'll say, Sonal, you are repeating again and again the similar answers, but the route and the preparation goes from your planning stage. So the better planned you are financially, the better you'll be able to experience the life, enjoy the life, right? Now in jab jago tabi savera, ठीक है? So as far as long you have up until now you have not focused on your finances, you have not focused on your your savings and everything. So start now. Better late than never, right? So actually start planning at the earliest. And now the planning would basically involve in a layman language, since I don't come from a finance background, but you can definitely reach out to the right experts for that. And, always have different overheads, that, okay, this much is for the daily expenses, monthly expenses, this much is for baby, this much is the rate of the what do you call it
Inflation.
inflation, and then by the time my child will get this much amount will be required, so how much money I should take it out as a team. Now if you both are working, so I would say that as a team both of you should start work, do it. And I think that's the need of the hour, the kind of lifestyle and we are living in. So uh, after you feel like you can actually decide and just plan in a better way. That's it. Because all this, even I don't do it, but I know that yes, my finances will be taken care by the finance expert. So I, if like, be it your stocks or your savings, FDs, investments in your gold or properties, so try to do it and stick to it, right? So I feel the most important central idea is to have a discipline around your expenses. And it's not that you operate from the feeling कि नहीं है, हमारे पास तो है ही नहीं, हम तो गरीब हो गए, बच्चा हो गया तो हमारा सारा खर्चा बच्चे पे ही जा रहा है, right? So have a balanced lifestyle and try to see that from where you can get the right this thing lifestyle also, so that you are enjoying your present also and saving some for the future, right? Which is equally important. And don't, in terms of expenses, please do not go into the show of what others are doing, right? See what your pocket allows and where you are, and of course start manifesting. There's no harm in it. More and more.
Yes. So, Sonal, one last question that I would like to hear from you, a response to this question is, what type of self-reflection you would ask parents to do so they are aware and that they're giving best kids? Type of self-reflection that would help them in their parenthood journey.
Yes. Nice question, Namrata, because I've been talking about more of self-reflections and self-awareness and this. So, your journey actually begins from a very early age, and everybody has their own journey to go through. Now, you need to see at whatever phase of your life you are in right now. So, ask yourself questions like, who are you, first of all, right? What are all the roles you are playing at this moment? Then comes then comes what is your value system, right? The roles you are playing and the value system which you come from, your family comes from, your geographical or the cultural area you live in. So all this will define who you are as a person, right? And see, as a when do we need to do this self reflection? Because self awareness, the moment we feel the difference, the indifference in our happenings and our expectations. Yeah, this is what we don't want. This is not is supposed to happen like this. This is not should be happening to me. I don't deserve it. So there is an indifference. So that is a feedback you are getting from the environment, that you need to go into your self reflection and self awareness journey and start asking yourself the questions. Now, something like what is your value system comes the next step. What is happening wrong in it? What am I not liking? Okay. What is, where is that broken link? First, there's a thing, right? Like, you don't know whom to fight. If you don't know your enemy, then how will you prepare for the war, right? Or even if you go to kitchen, you don't know what to cook. How will you collect your ingredients and how will you cook your taste, whatever? You just feeling like, अच्छा हमको कुछ अच्छा खाना है, लेकिन अच्छा भी क्या खाना है? स्वीट खाना है, सॉल्टी खाना है, साग खाना है, लाइक सब्जी खानी है, चाइनीज खानी है, मेक्सिकन खाना है. So it all varies, right? So you need to see out and go deeper in your own self. Now, after getting your value system, understanding more about your own self, your expectations from yourself, your family, then comes finding the broken link, then finding the ways to actually getting it back, right? कि अगर ऐसा हो जाएगा तो ठीक हो जाएगा, right? So again, as a parent, as this thing, if you are well prepared, know that I want this. So the more clarity you have, the more you are able to express better. The more you are able to express better, the chances of having your desires, your needs, your expectations fulfilled is much higher. And your problem is solved, right? From your own self and your family members or your environment, surroundings, peer, teachers, whatever, wherever you are. So you'll be like, I give answers which can fit in to everything. So you see where you are and how to go about it. And then after finding out if everything is working out and if it is still not working out, again go back to your self reflection, see what are the patterns you have been following, what are the changes needs to be done, because taking your own responsibility will actually help you getting where you want to, right? What you want, where you want to be, right? So life is all about do, we have, right? Right. So either things we want to do, we want to express, or the personality we want to achieve, or the kind of people we want to be with, the career goals, the parenting goals, the relationship goals, the health goals. So these are all different spheres of our life, different overheads, which all require our attention and finding the perfect balance, which you will never be. Sometimes this will go up, sometimes this will go down, but life is all about the graph, we call it, right? Up and down, and just enjoy the life, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was nice listening to you. Your responses were very touchy, and you speak a lot from your experience and how this has transformed you and the good deeds that you want to do by helping world from your own experience. It's really amazing talking to you and listening to each and every word that you said. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Namrata. Thank you so much. Keep doing the good work. God bless you all.